All right,
Eric's
man.
had way too much therapy.
Yeah, please,
Okay.
please go to me.
A much happier topic, man, that we can get into, man. Kobe Bryant, y'all. So, and this is an old interview that John Sally did on KG's podcast, Certified, and he was talking about breaking records, and I think this was 2 years ago, so this is before LeBron broke Kareem's record, and they kind of briefly discussed that. But then he talked about when Kobe scored 81 against Toronto, where he had a lot left in the tank, where he could have actually went and broke Wilt Chamberlain's record, but Phil Jackson didn't allow him to do it. I'm gonna play what you said, what they said, and I'm gonna ask y'all the question. What would be different about Kobe's legacy if he stayed in the game and broke that record and got 101 points or more? This is what John Sally said.
You know what I'm saying? LeBron gonna catch Kareem?
I hope so.
You think so? Think it's time for another face forward?
So I go to Phil Jackson after Kobe scores 81. Kobe had 19.
And could have kept going.
He had another 20.
The league tapped. Did the league hit the button on that?
It's Phil.
Let me hear this.
So I said, Phil, why didn't you let Kobe get 104? He said, some records shouldn't be broken.
Oh, wow. Oh,
and I was like,
certified.
And
Right
but then I thought about it. Kobe's number 2. So he was like, you know what? You don't want to erase this dude because this guy did that. And I said, okay. Now, Karl Malone could have got Kareem. I want LeBron to get it because I want all the LeBron haters to not be able to hate on that. But because think about this. They're going to say Steph Curry had 10,000 more shots than everybody else. They will not. You're never going to get a stamp of approval. So I want him to get it so he can at least say, well, he is the leading scorer in NBA history. I want him to be able to say that, or say he's right next to or 1 point more than Kareem. I don't know. I think some records shouldn't be broken, but I want LeBron to have the number one of something. Yeah.
I really think records are here to be broken.
All right, so 2 questions, man. Are records here to be broken or not? And would Kobe's legacy be different if he broke Wilt's record? Y'all can chew on that bone for a minute.
Yes, records are meant to be broken. No, Kobe's legacy wouldn't have changed. I think he's still up there, best player after Michael Jordan. And I don't think that breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record would have changed it, just because Wilt, for a lot of people, is not ranked higher than Kobe Bryant.
Records are made to be broken. That's why they call records. You know what I mean? They're made to be broken. If you go to the Olympics and you break a record, that's the first thing they're gonna say. They're gonna say, "Wow, look at him! He just broke a record." So records are made to be broken. I really don't think it would did much for Kobe's legacy. Kobe modeled his game after Michael Jordan. Some people compare him, place him there as number 2. And then I think if he had one more championship by himself like that, that probably would have changed the narrative for him. But the points thing, I don't think it really changes legacy, just to me.
You so let me ask you this, Eric. So did LeBron getting Kareem's record change his legacy?
You know what, man? Sometimes those stats, I like LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan, Laker fan, but LeBron plays so long, man. You know what I mean? Like 20 years, bro. That's like unheard of. So, I mean, I don't really think it did much for his legacy. LeBron is still going to be compared number 2, number 3, however you want to place him in the top tier basketball elite. So, I mean, I don't really think it did, because when you're dealing with stats, you can play stats. Just like he said, Phil, keep him in the game a little bit longer. You can get 104 points. You see what I'm saying? So it's really a gimmicky kind of thing. Stats are kind of gimmicky because you can actually placate stats. You can go play a sucky team. You can go get 104 points in one game, and you know what I mean? You can do your thing. But I don't put a lot of investment in them like that. Now, championships change your legacy. Because you can't placate you can't make up a stat for championships. You actually got to go out there, play the 7 games, win the championship, then we can talk about it. So Stats don't really do it for me. Championships do.
I don't know, man. Well, yeah, I'm with you on that on championships, but if getting because Wilt is forever known for scoring 100 points. Nobody else is three digits.
And as you say that though, Mel, come on, bro. And I don't want to say nothing against that man's legacy. Wilt was a great pioneer for the game, all that. But come on, bro. They was not playing the same level of competition that they play now. Like that's
what's even more interesting though than what Eric is saying is that people today, kids today, Austin Reeves from the Lakers, they don't even believe that Wilt Chamberlain scored that 100 points. That's why I'm saying that I don't think it would really impact Kobe Bryant's legacy because people believe that Kobe Bryant scored the most points ever in a game, not Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, but officially he
scored 100 points.
He's
he did that.
I know that he did. That's not me. I'm just saying when we're talking about legacy, part of that is what people believe. Part of that is what people have seen. And so most people today that are alive never saw that 100 points recorded. People saw and witnessed Kobe Bryant do that. So that's why they believe. People tend to just believe what they see. They're prisoners of the moment. So that's why I don't think it's impacting Kobe Bryant's legacy.
I totally agree with you saying being prisoners of the moment because I watched a documentary on Wilt Chamberlain not too long ago, and outside of his personal life, Wilt was the biggest dude on the team. The team that he kept catching hell with was the Boston Celtics, and that was with Russell and them. So he was the most dominant person on the team. There was nobody else out there single-handedly as good, as big, as athletic as Wilt Chamberlain. So yeah, he got 100 points, but if you playing a bunch of school teachers and janitors and shit, that shit don't add up.
I think we have to stop saying that though, because having to face the Celtics every week or how it like he had to play them every other day. There were 8 teams at one point,
right.
12 teams. So the competition was really tough when you have to face the very best players in a limited selection. I mean, he did have tough competition. And I don't think it's right for us to say that these people were plumbers and janitors because they had to work in the summer, because they paved the way for people to make these contracts today. I think it's really disrespectful for us.
I get what you're saying, but we're saying about the 100 points. So I'm saying if you're playing regular average people who don't play basketball,
how can you say that they were regular and average? They
some
do
of
play
them,
basketball. They were professional.
Some of them were. Some of them they didn't have top tier players like that back then. They didn't. I'm just telling the truth.
They had athleticism. They had a ton of great players back then. A ton.
They did not.
Look at the
history. Look at the history.
There weren't 400 some odd NBA players. The league is more watered down now with less talent than it was back then.
Wilt was the biggest person on the court. They thought he was white people thought he was a giant. They thought he was some type of spectacle.
Against Bill Russell. We can't say that.
Listen. I understand that the Celtics had a wonder. That's why the Celtics got so many championships. How you think they got all them championships? It wasn't because the competition was so fierce.
But there was competition.
It was not. It was not. You gotta see when y'all do y'all history and y'all do y'all background. Because I don't want to just be talking just to be talking.
I do my history and my background. There were less players.
Background. Then talk to me about it because there was not.
Eric, and there's 75. There were 75 years of basketball.
There was not 75 elite basketball players back in the 1960s. It wasn't in the 50s and 60s. Are you serious?
How do you know that, Eric?
I do my research.
Well, show it to me.
Show me yours. Show me yours.
Show me that there weren't.
Hold on. You said all of them was elite.
I feel like y'all could both
say all of them. I didn't say
all of them was elite.
I think it's Eric and Dominique. It's some truth to both sides, right? I mean, I listened to an interview.
Dominique just like to argue anyway, so it don't really matter.
Well, hold on. Let me say this.
I'm not yelling. You are.
Dominique, let me say this.
You're yelling. You're raising your voice.
Eric,
do I raise my voice?
Dominique, let me say
Eric, you don't have to yell. The mic is right there.
Eric, your voice always loud. You got a mic, Eric.
You got a mic. You don't have to yell.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize for yelling because I'm going through therapy. I'm working on my shit.
Yeah. You working on yourself. But look, listen to an interview from Bill Russell. He made a point. I don't know if I agree with it or not, but his point was, if you have a team or you have an NBA with only 8 to 12 teams in it, that means all the talent is condensed, and so you have more talent on each team. That's one argument. But on the other hand, what Eric is saying, no one was that advanced at basketball back then, and then no one was in as physically fit enough to stop Wilt Chamberlain. So it don't matter what your teams look like. We're not talking about who won the game, because that would gear toward more how competitive the league was. We're talking about who was there that was going to stop Wilt from scoring 2 points. Nobody, right? Maybe Bill Russell and a couple other guys.
All I'm saying is that's the same.
Hold on, let me finish this. Well, hold on, let me finish this. That's not the same thing what they say about Mike. So Wilt, 7'1", 7'2", and there's no other competitive guy that can stop that. Scoring a 100 points might not be impressive to some people. It's still impressive to me. I'm just speaking for what Eric is saying. Now, my point is this. Even if you're not impressed by Wilt scoring 100, if Kobe would have scored 100 with the competition that you think is fierce, how impressive would that have been if Kobe would have scored 100? And how that would have changed his legacy?
That definitely. Go ahead, Chris.
For me, what it is, you know how money changes with value over time. I feel like Kobe's 81 is equal to Wilt's 100. That's how with the way the game changed and with the way
you're a mathematician, is that right? Hey, if y'all didn't know, Jay's a mathematician.
81 definitely does not equal 100. However,
as far as like
to your point, I definitely get what you're saying on the shoot. I would even say that Jordan 63 in the Garden was as iconic. Boston Garden, by the way, was as iconic as that 100. It wasn't 100. 100's 100. It wasn't that, but the effect of it was equal. I get what he's saying in that way.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain should have had more titles if nobody could stop him.
He had the Boston Celtics. They had a unbelievable team.
Yeah, Bill got 11.
Imagine having to face them every day. That's my only point. They did have competition back then, and it was a smaller vacuum.
The only competition was Bill Russell.
Right, but hey,
that is the only person he had to face. But that's pretty hard when you have to do it every single day or every other day.
I'm gonna just make this one point. I'm not dissing those people for being janitors or whatever they was, because they didn't make that much money back then. All I am saying is this: it's a difference.
At least I called them accountants. I call them accountants.
I know. I should have said accountants, huh? Hey, but all I'm saying is this: it's a difference when you training, when you got personal trainers, personal chefs. You make millions of dollars. You lifting weights. You got a whole gym. Wilt Chamberlain was built just different. Like God made him like that. So it's a totally different thing when you working a 9 to 5, getting off practice, playing basketball, versus that's what you do all year long and you get paid to do that. That's a totally different type of competition. That's not the same thing. That's all I'm saying.
So you saying a 6'10" dude that wear Chuck Taylors and drive a taxi cab, and then as soon as he get off work, he come in and got to guard Wilt for 48 minutes.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? How good are you going to really be, dog? You know what I mean?
I just think that's what makes them really good, because they played in those kinds of shoes. I can't imagine playing in that. I can't imagine playing in those shoes and those, no support. Come on.
Well, one of the things that you got to just look at is life in general, right? These dudes, you go back and look at the pictures from like the 60s and 70s. These dudes was 28 with bald spots, receding hairlines.
That was not all the dudes, man. Y'all.
No. A good majority of them was down.
No, they was not, man. Y'all OGs, man.
No, they was down bad, man. They was still eating fat back meat, bro. They was still eating fat back meat like as a meal, bro. So
all I'm saying is we need to respect all these eras. We get mad when people say that Jordan's era was weak. I just think we can't pick and choose. We have to respect the eras and respect that they all had competition. Of course, it looked different.
You're absolutely right.
Everybody had their own era. That's all I'm saying.
You're absolutely right. To be the best in any era, to be dominant in any era, that means of the peers of your time, you were elite. And there has to be respect to that. You're absolutely correct.
I think we also got to look at that time period. You know, not everybody of the great talent was able to get in the league at that particular time period. So that's another thing that we also have to look at as well.
Very good point.
But I do agree with Don. We got to respect that era. They had talent in that league. But again, people that look like us, not all of us was getting in there regardless of how great we were.
Facts.
And we couldn't even get in restaurants. We couldn't. There was a lot of buildings we wasn't allowed into. So
Right.
what those guys did during that time,
league.
yeah,
The ABA came up for a reason.
The ABA, they were making more money in that league, so that was another reason why a lot of Black players weren't playing in the NBA. Dr. J was one of them. He won titles in the ABA. It was far more competitive in the ABA than it was in the NBA.
But to the point of what you had to deal with outside of the court and still try to come in hoop, those guys are heroes.
Be out there marching, civil rights. Bill Russell did all of that we credit people like LeBron for today when he actually did the work.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the Navy, Eric, man. They taught us about our history and we respected them dudes. Them dudes that was wearing them dungarees, Eric.
I ain't never respect them.
It couldn't have been me. Nah, I'm glad they did it. They went through that, so I ain't have to go through it.
And I said it in a context, not disrespecting them in any way. I'm just saying it's a totally different era, bro. Like, imagine the dude 7'2", probably 200 some pounds. You just got your ass whooped from a race ride. You drove a cab for 8 hours, and now you about to come out here and go play guard Wilt Chamberlain for 48 minutes. Come on, bro.
He dropped 100 on your head.
Yeah, but you know, all that adversity actually showed them how good they were and how strong they were mentally.
Absolutely. Sure. But it's no surprise he got 100 points. It ain't like, man.
I mean, it was Wilt, man. It wasn't a lot of Wilt.
It was Wilt. It wasn't a lot of Wilts out there.
I mean,
like he was just scoring 100 every night, though. So you know,
his averages.
He did average like 50.
His
averages is crazy. That was crazy.
But he wasn't doing the 100 point scoring every night.
He still got the highest average for a season at like 51.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Hey, now there is somebody said that there's a theory going on that he actually had 11 points that game and it was a typo and you never actually scored 100.
Anybody mess with Jay?
Y'all ain't hear that for real.
I'm not messing with. Hey, I never got Brittany and Chris's thoughts. Is it would it change Kobe's legacy if he had broke Wilt's record?
Go ahead, Brittany. You go first.
For me, no, because I rank him right underneath, like you guys said earlier, MJ. To me, he's a product of MJ. So for me, I don't think it'll change his legacy whatsoever. I mean, he's already, I don't know who said it a little bit earlier, but he's already ranked. Was it Dom? Was it you? He's ranked higher than Wilt anyway. So no.
Yeah, but that's his ranking.
You're not. Oh, I'm sorry. Your legacy, even your legacy, how people look at you. Yeah. No, people still look at Kobe as being one of the greatest of all time. Behind MJ for the most part, whoever else you want to put in between them, most people don't put Wilt up there. He might be top 10, but he's not top 5.
Wilt. I don't actually have him ranked above Wilt, but I think that he was a greater player.
Right. And then legacy to me is everybody's perspective. Like it's going to change with each individual person. I may see Kobe one way, and we had this argument all the time. People want to put LeBron above Kobe. I think they are out of their mind. Some people may think I'm out of my mind. So legacy is all about perspective.
Let me ask you this. For Kobe and Phil, do you like what John Sally said when he said, or he asked Phil, why did you take him out? Why didn't you let him get 100 and break Wilt's record? And Phil said some records shouldn't be broken. And I guess his thought process is that's mostly what we remember Wilt for. Let him have that, right? Exactly. And so the second part of that question is, how do you feel about LeBron being so eager to do the opposite of what Phil did for Wilt? He wanted to do the opposite and just take Kareem off that mantle and take his record when other people could have got it. Jordan could have kept playing and got it. Karl Malone could have kept playing and got it. Kobe could have kept playing and got it. But they all was like, nah, it ain't even worth it. But LeBron was like, hell no, I'm getting it record.
I think those other people that you just mentioned, especially Jordan. Jordan was focused on championships. I don't think he was really into the stats like that. I think he knew. He used to tell players even before they came on the court, and some things I've seen and read, that Jordan used to tell you, "Hey man, I'm gonna drop 50 on your boy tonight." Jordan was cocky like that, but he was really worried about championships. So when you worried about championships versus stats, those championships always gonna come out on top because people will forever remember those championships. If Kobe had made 104 points, we wouldn't we would talk about Wilt Chamberlain as one of the elite pioneers of the game, but we probably wouldn't talk about him as much, to be honest.
Who go speak to the fact that LeBron wanted to take Kareem? I mean, because now all we know Kareem for is the hook shot.
So I don't think
some N-words, bro.
I don't think that's true.
Some N-words.
I don't. I still give Kareem credit.
I think you can't mention Magic without mentioning Kareem. You can't mention old school Lakers without mentioning Kareem, right? You can't really mention the game without mentioning Kareem, right? So I think even regardless of the points record, Kareem's name would, still rank synonymous with the NBA, right? But all the guys that you named that could have took the spot and didn't, like you said, they didn't do it for the records or the stats, right? They were in the game to win. And when they felt that they couldn't win anymore, they left. That's having integrity for the game.
That's not true.
I think
not because they couldn't win, because they couldn't dominate. Because they couldn't dominate individually.
Nobody counts Washington.
I think that LeBron is still actually playing to win. I just think that he realizes that he can no longer orchestrate the championships as he was before. So I think that he's still I still think that he wants to win actually, but I think that he's just trying to check off the things that he can. Like, hey, I can accomplish this. I'm really not able to win anymore. And he's trying to basically deflect from the winning to these accomplishments now. Hey, I wasn't able to get to 6 rings. I don't foresee. He already knew in 2020 that would be his last title. He already knew that. And so he saw that and said, okay, well, that's what these next couple of years are going to be about this. I'm going to break the scoring record. Then I'm going to go ahead and play with my son. These things are all manufactured. So where we're at right now and what LeBron is playing for, if he falls into a title, great. Trust me, they have a plan for, let's just say if the entire West were to get injured. Like they have a plan for that. They'll be able to exploit those circumstances and create a path for a title. But right now, this is just what we're looking at. Scoring record, playing with Bronny. This is what LeBron is going after because this is what he sees in his vision that he can accomplish.
Yeah, because the Lakers definitely ain't winning another championship. I think he came close with the Western Conference Finals. What was that, 2 years ago? The Lakers win? I think it was 2 years ago.
And we saw how he rallied, right? When they saw that path for the playoffs, we saw how he rallied. He rallied the team, and they seemed ready for this run.
Hey, I think that was his last. I think that was his last hope actually at the 2022 when they was going to the Western Conference, when they thought they was going to get to the Western Conference Finals, and they lost. But I mean, I get it. If that's on your bucket list, check it off. Playing with Bronny, getting the stat record, whatever.
The fact of the matter is, outside of Jordan, Kobe, and Karl Malone, these people that you named, Mel, they gave their best shot to win that damn scoring, all-time scoring thing. They both played. Kobe, you had to Jekyll and Hyde him in the locker room every game before he was dragging this old dusty body out there. Man, he was beat up. You know what I'm saying? Karl Malone, his last year in Utah and everywhere after that was a shell of a human. It wasn't even no more young girl. Never mind.
Well, I mean, so here's my thing, right? Karl Malone or Kobe Bryant, right? What we saw them is being a shell of themselves would have been less visible if they still wasn't trying to lead the team the way they did when they was in their prime. The difference between LeBron is he's getting a guys, a co-star that's in his prime that's very capable of being a number one to come and join his team and it looks like it's still LeBron's team, but it's really that co-stars that he's on his back, right? Like right now, if LeBron tried to lead a Cleveland team to the finals the way he did when Ilgauskas was his second best player, he couldn't do it. So AD is hiding the fact that LeBron really is no different from Karl Malone and Kobe Bryant their last year in the league.
Yeah, but that's a whole different category.
But you said it the other night, though, Mel. You said it the other night perfectly. You said Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they never, ever stopped defending at a high level. So they never stopped being a complete player. Mentally, physically, they constantly got out there on the floor and put their entire game on the floor every night for their fans.
Yeah, but y'all
not
still
just for
the
themselves, not just for their teams, but also for the fans.
The point that Mel tried to make was that these players had some honor code and said, I didn't want this scoring title because wouldn't nobody remember Kareem. Nah, they just didn't have the tools to get it done.
No, not quite. What I'm saying is
they didn't have the tools to get it done.
No. What I'm saying is Michael Jordan never thought about wanting it, because if he thought about wanting it, he never would have retired twice.
And he's also said it. He's come out in interview and said, I don't want the scoring record. That's not what I'm playing for.
Again,
if I was playing for stats, then I'd still be playing. That is exactly what he said, Jay. So are we saying
when you play this back, exactly what I said is excluding Michael Jordan, the other guys that Mel mentioned.
He did say excluding Michael Jordan.
He did say excluding Michael Jordan. Yeah, he did say that.
Well, I don't think Karl Malone or Kobe was trying to get it either.
Karl Malone definitely was trying to.
Karl Malone left Utah to go to the Lakers to try to get a ring because he never got a ring. If he would have got that ring that year, he would have retired. All he wanted was a ring one time. He left Stockton and Utah to go get a ring. The best bet for him to get that scoring title was staying in Utah and take 30 shots a game. That was his best bet.
Everything in that era of basketball was about winning. If you didn't win, you weren't celebrated and recognized. Even from the media standpoint, it was always about winning.
Yeah, I give you that.
And when is it not about winning?
Right now, because you get recognized for showing up. You get recognized for waking up and opening your eyes. You don't get you could win and not get recognized in today's era.
Like Jason Tatum, Jason Tatum won, and Jason Tatum won, and they still said we're not going to recognize him. They're not celebrating him. They said Jaylen Brown was Jaylen Brown, and then they benched him in the USA Olympics.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
That was like he became forgettable. That's crazy.
Exactly.
It literally like he became.
How do you win the highest thing and
we celebrate Luka? Yeah,
and we're talking about LeBron.
Don't say we.
Real quick, I do think because Kobe Bryant was a competitive mother sucker. I do think if he had the opportunity to get to 40,000 points or to be the most high-end scoring person, he would, as long as he's able to continue to win. But because he couldn't continue to play on that high level, he said, "Forget it, I'm done." So I think
y'all act like the last 5 years Kobe was in the Lakers, like winning wasn't even an option. They were just like, shit, man, just go out there and get your points.
Nah, he tried to find another co-star. That's why he brought in Dwight and he was trying to win. But see, this is the thing of Kobe. When he said I couldn't play and dominate the way I wanted to, like he was the Black Mamba. If he couldn't be the Black Mamba, I don't think he got joy out of the game no more. So he bowed out and retired. He could have stayed trying and stayed with the Lakers as long as they wanted him to, because he was still selling tickets and been taking 30 shots a game to get that record. He didn't want it, bro.
That man played 30 years. That man played 20 years and took 30 shots a game for 18 of them.
Look, Kobe was
the only time he didn't take 30 shots a game is when he was a rookie and in his second year.
Kobe was so obsessed with Michael Jordan. His record was passing Mike. Once he passed Mike, there was nothing else to do, bro. He didn't want that Kareem record. Everybody looked at Kareem like we looked at Wilt. Those are the names we think is getting Kareem and Wilt's record is just like changing the logo from Jerry West to LeBron. Hey, call on the line. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's going on? It's Lamar from Jersey.
What's up, bro?
Hey, I'm not old enough to have seen Wilt. I just want to mention that he played one season. He played every minute of every game.
That's crazy.
That in itself is ridiculous. I don't care who you're playing against. And but I am old enough to see Kareem, not goggles and ball-headed Kareem with the Lakers. I'm talking about beard and afro Kareem with the Milwaukee Bucks. And he was dominant. I mean, in the 70s, he dominated the NBA. That's why he won like 6 MVPs and 5 MVPs in the 70s. This thing about Kobe, I don't know if y'all saw the clip of Isaiah Thomas, but he was talking about Mike's last All-Star game. And he said he drew up the play for Mike. He knew he was going to do the fadeaway sideline turnaround jumper, and he did it, and he hit it. And Kobe got fouled, and Isaiah said he walked over into him and said, "Listen, Kobe, this is Mike's last All-Star game. Why don't you let him go out on top?" And Kobe said he got to earn it. He went and made the 2 foul shots, and the West won the game. And I think Kobe would have got the record if he could have. If his body didn't break down, I don't think he would have stuck around just to get the record. But I don't think he stopped playing to avoid getting the record either. I think Barry Sanders did that to avoid getting Walter Payton's record for some reason. But Kobe was too competitive. And I got an admission to make that the media worked on me. Because the media was killing Kobe at the end. All he was a gunner, all of this stuff. And they really did a job on me for a point where I thought that LeBron was better than Kobe. Because the media worked their magic on me. But when LeBron passes Kobe in the most shots missed, because when Kobe got the most shots missed, they talked about that in the media.
They did.
It was something that they talked about. I had never heard them talk about who had the most shots missed before, but when he did that, they talked about it. I just want to know if they're going to talk about it when LeBron passes him in the most shots missed, because they didn't say nothing about him getting the 5,000 turnovers or whatever it is. Listen, y'all know I love y'all show, and thanks for letting me on.
All right, man. Thank you for the call, bro.
Thank you.
So, what you? I want to ask you, man. What you think about Wilt's record? Because this whole, I don't know if you was listening, but this segment started with John Sally talking about Phil Jackson taking Kobe out when he had 81. And he asked him why he didn't let him stay to break Wilt's record, and he said some records shouldn't be broken. My point was this: Wilt with the 100 points, Kareem with the scoring record, and Jerry West with the logo. That's like the founder, and Bill Russell with 11 rings. That's the foundation of the league.
Yeah.
Why would you want to surpass that?
Why would you? I mean, I'm an 80s baby. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't even care if I'm not winning about passing those things. Those things are great, and those people are great for what they've done to this league. And you said that they're like the forefathers. You know what I'm saying? Of what the league is, the goals of the league are and were. But yeah, I don't like. I think it was great, but all of that stuff, a lot of it, especially now, is a longevity award, and I can appreciate longevity. But at the end of the day, especially the scoring record, I can appreciate longevity, but I'm not looking for that. I don't look for that. I don't care. Like I didn't care when Bron did it. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't because it was Bron. I just didn't. It don't mean that much to me. Winning is always what you play sports for. Because I played sports and I teach my son that, that's what we do it for. Anything that comes is sprinkles on top of that cupcake. I don't care about that. But if you a great loser, then that's just what you are.
But what if you wanted it all, though? What if you wanted it all? What if you wanted to win? What if you wanted these records? I don't think there's anything wrong with being a competitor and wanting these records. But what I do think is wrong is wanting to get the record in the way that these guys are getting the record. LeBron took over 3,000, I think over 6,000 threes. I think he made over 3,000 3-point shots. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he only took 18 3-pointers in his entire career and only made 2. So when you're talking about how he had to be the leading scorer versus LeBron, it's not as impressive. So I don't know that I'd want to break the record and it not be as impressive as the person who had the record before me. I'd want to break the record. Me personally, as a competitor, I'd want all the records if I could get them, but I wouldn't want it that way.
Yeah, all I'm saying, and all of y'all are making good points. All I'm saying is no one who's playing the game purposely is saying, hey, I don't want the record. Like that. Let me stop playing for this. Like no one's avoiding the record. Like Mel.
No, yeah, nobody. Yeah, I agree, Jay. Nobody's avoiding it.
You're right. Yeah,
I agree with that.
That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I just think the championships were more important to the players in that era. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Because we will always talk about the Bulls and the 6 championships, just like they talk about Tom Brady and the 7 Super Bowls. They will never stop talking about that.
Yo, Russell,
Eric, listen, the championships lost their splendor for kind of when the league started hitching their cart to certain franchises for them to get championships. You get what I'm saying? Like,
oh no, I don't. I think it lost. I think it. You're right. You're right. Your first statement, it did lose its splendor, but it lost it because we traded it in for the love of stats.
Right.
Oh,
it was even before that though. What I meant by that, it was even before that. It was for the entertainment purpose. We only want the people in the finals. Listen, the Spurs killed it. The Spurs killed championships matter. When the Spurs went to the finals against the New Jersey Nets, and it was the lowest watched finals in history, the NBA said, "Damn that! If you can't sell tickets, you won't be on the big stage." Period. And that's when it died.
I'll put it.
And I'm a Spurs fan.
I'll put it to you like this, right? The goal, like Mel and Zoe said, the goal when you get into sports, when you get to this level, is to win championships because ultimately that's where your name is etched forever.
Exactly.
That's where your name is etched forever when you win championships.
They can pass your record.
They can pass your record. You might not make it to the Hall of Fame, but championships are written forever. The moment I knew when it wasn't about winning championships anymore for LeBron, and it was only about chasing records to try to make up that gap that's in his own mind, is when he got a championship ring made for breaking Kareem's record. At that point, that's when I knew it was over. And it wasn't about winning. It was only he legit got a championship ring made commemorating him beating Kareem's record.
That is just hilarious.
I didn't even know that.
As impressive.
The league makes
that wasn't even as impressive.
Record passing things like that. The league has been doing that since the beginning of the league. Y'all not gonna act like LeBron.
But let me ask you guys a question though. Does anybody work in sales on the panel?
No.
Nobody. Okay, so forget.
Yeah, we'll
okay,
do
but
sales.
in sales or any kind of performance-based driven work, when you can't meet the main goal, maybe like it's sales or something, you try to find other wins. You try to look for the small wins, even if it's every day. When you're managing a group of people and leading a team of people, sometimes you have to pick out that one minuscule thing. Okay, well, you didn't meet your goal for the month, but you made it today. You made your daily goal. Great job.
Even if we was under labor costs today, you're absolutely right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You gotta celebrate something.
You gotta find a win. Find your win.
Exactly. Like if you did it, if you won the day with less people, whatever the case may be, that's great. So like I'm okay with LeBron trying to figure out, okay, well, what can I celebrate? What can I win in? But at the end of the day, I mean, we really should be aiming for titles and championships. Today, what we're going to be celebrating is a lot lesser than what we used to celebrate. And I think that when you're chipping away and trying to find those wins and it's still not greater, the problem is still remaining that today's players cannot accomplish and reach the heights that the players of the past did. That's the problem. And that's the only problem that I see. And that's why they have to find and chip away at the past and then find random new little wins. They even make up things. I mean, made up stats, made up accomplishments. Oh, this person, they never lost 3 times in a row. That's what they say about Jordan. Jordan doesn't need that. Don't make up things that are not the actual accomplishments, the actual wins and titles. Stop making up stuff. That's what they do today. Oh,
Can I
LeBron.
respond to that?
Go ahead.
I feel like.
Go ahead, Jay.
The only problem that I have with what you said is you kind of blamed that on LeBron. When the actual thing is, let's zoom.
We were talking about LeBron. I want to be clear.
Hold on.
I'm not blaming it on LeBron, Jay. So I want you to stop because I'm not blaming it on LeBron.
You just said that. That's what you said. Play it back.
Hold on. We play it back. We were talking about LeBron and why he would want to pass Kareem on the scoring record. So that's why I'm not blaming the entirety of today. Matter of fact, you know what? You're right. I am. I'm blaming it all on LeBron. I'm blaming it. You're right.
Okay.
I'm blaming it all on LeBron because he's the person that made it okay to celebrate losing. So you're right. I'm blaming it on him. He celebrates being a goddamn loser, and so does his fans. So if you're in that fan club, then you're celebrating losing too.
Well, so first of all, if you want to find somebody to blame, you can blame Joe. But second of all, listen, it is a microcosm. Sports is a microcosm of life. So the whole thing is this society, these parents. Hey, why my kid ain't doing this? Why my kid made a C? Y'all ought to give him an award. This shit is way bigger than that. This is a product of where society is as a whole. We're celebrating shit that don't matter. And it ain't. It's way bigger than any sports.
Well, that's what I've said. That's what happens in today's sports. All of the players are doing that. I didn't say just LeBron. It's today's players can't reach the heights of the past. Period. Today's players can't reach the heights of the past.
The problem is society celebrates things that aren't real, and it trickles down to sports. It's not the other way around.
But it's because they can't accomplish what was greatness in the past. They can't reach
it. Because there's no need. It's because every substandard becomes the new standard. There's no need to reach greatness if we're going to celebrate mediocreness.
Y'all saying the same thing. Y'all saying the same thing. I got a call on the line from Connecticut. Go.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Marcel calling out of Connecticut.
What's up, brother?
When it comes to the scoring record, scoring title, I actually think that it's overrated, because if you think about it honestly, no one really thinks about trying to catch the scoring record. You have to be in the league at least 20 years before it even becomes a topic. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think anyone actively chases a scoring record. There's no point in it unless you plan on to be playing in the league for 20 plus years. I mean, look at KD. If you take KD's scoring average, if he plays 4 more seasons, you're going to pass 40,000 points. It's not a big deal. And also what I would like to say, too, to piggyback off of what he was saying just now, was the standard of greatness has diminished ever since LeBron got in the NBA. And that's facts. It's like he was saying, people are used to it's the participation era, where as long as you participate, you should be rewarded for it. It doesn't make any sense. And LeBron he knew that he was unable to catch Kobe or Jordan and being as great as them. So what did he do? They started making narratives about, oh, he's going to catch the scoring title. Oh, he did this. All shit that don't matter because you play to win the game. If you're not playing to win, what you playing for? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Ever since this guy's been around, it's all.
All I'm gonna say is this, man. According to people on the internet, no one in the world has more power than the U.S. government and LeBron James. Like, these motherfuckers can do whatever they want to. Like, come on, bro.
Exactly.
Hey, who else I got on the line, man? Go ahead, your turn.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, just barely though.
Oh, yeah, cool. No, yeah, man. Like, I completely agree. That scoring record, it's not really a big deal, man. LeBron had to play in the league 75 years to get that scoring record. Don't nobody care about that. Like, what I'm bugging out is, Bryant. It seems like the media just let him leapfrog like all of these greats, and it's just like what everybody's been saying. Like, he hasn't had to do all the things that Mike did, that Kareem did, that Kobe did to be considered great. Like, Kobe beat the most 50 plus win teams in the league, like in NBA history. Like, Kobe got that record. Like, those Western Conference, like those gauntlets that he went through, that Tim Duncan went through, nobody wants to talk about that no more.
Yeah.
Like, my man has, the most all defensive first team honors won. That's crazy. He tied with Gary Payton and Kevin Garnett, but that's crazy for a guard.
Very impressive too.
So absolutely.
So, like,
I'm confused.
I really do. I want to love LeBron, man, but I don't like how the media do that.
I'm confused. You got to beat who's there, right?
They would tell.
If you got to beat who's on the path to your championship. If ain't no 50-win teams on your path, hey, listen, you can't beat a 50-win team if ain't nobody win 50 games. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
You don't get no pat on the back for that. You beat whoever was there.
Right.
I mean, that's true, but you know, it was purposeful on LeBron's case, because LeBron, he ran away from that 66 win team in Cleveland to join Wade and Bosh because he didn't know how to win.
Man,
so, like,
let me tell you something. Let
I
me tell you something. I grew up a San Antonio Spurs fan. The year that they beat the Knicks for Tim Duncan and David Robinson's first ring was a NBA lockout shortened season. I don't say none of that when I say they got a ring. Them motherfuckers won a championship. They beat a Knicks team that was trash and never should have made the finals in a real NBA season. I don't say none of that.
They made the finals because they was in the East. They didn't have to come out of the West. That's the whole point. And that lockout season, okay, you know 30 almost 40 point regular season games.
Not 51.
51. Okay, so you didn't play 50. So you didn't go through 82 games, right? But you went through the gauntlet of the playoffs of traveling 7-game series and all that. A bubble ring, you didn't go through 82 games. Plus, you had a break in the middle. Plus, you didn't travel in the playoffs and go through the gauntlet of the playoffs.
Hey, listen, man. The sad truth in life is this: the winners of the war write the history books. Period. Nothing else matters. When our kids are looking back at the 2020 champions, all they're gonna see is the Lakers and LeBron James. And
championship, exactly.
No one don't care how
I'm not putting you in my top 5. I'm not putting you in my top 5. Like,
your top 5 ain't gonna matter in 20 years.
Everybody else going to.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure your top 5.
Who top 5 go matter in 20 years, Jay? His sons.
But
exactly. LeBron James the third top 5 gonna matter then.
Yeah,
dude.
Like I'm not putting him in my top 5. Man had the most points scored in the whole decade.
And you know who gonna be on ESPN debating Stephen A. Smith in 20 years?
L. Duncan the third.
Bryant Games. All right, man. Thank y'all for the call, man. Appreciate it, man. Bryant James gonna be on ESPN. Somebody go get him a job there.
Oh, he definitely gonna get
it. I bet you we don't care about your top 5 right now.
He definitely said that.
Before we slide, I had seen some comments that said that I was lying about the ring.
My bad.
I got the proof. There's the proof.
Sheesh.
Hey, the league been doing that for years, bro. Steph Curry got a ring for the most 3-pointers made.
Yeah, exactly.
LeBron went and got that one made.
Nigga, if you had $1 billion and nothing to spend it on, he don't pay for them tacos on Taco Tuesday. What
he probably bought a house for? He probably bought a house for it as well with 38,000 acres.
Nah, look, that's the address. That's the street address.
Right. He made the address because he made his own residence.
All right, Brittany, close this out before we move to the next topic. What's your thoughts? Final thoughts? You on mute?
God dang. I guess what I had to say wasn't that important, huh?
Go ahead.
I mean, look, I don't really have much to say about this anymore. It is what it is. I think championships matter the most. I do think we are in a participation trophy type of era. You can see it with the kids. You can see it just trickled up, trickled down, whatever way you want to go. And to be honest, I've seen people in the comments talking about Kareem was garbage. Kareem was this. You out your damn mind. You are out your damn mind. Look, I understand LeBron got 40,000 points, but like Dom said earlier, Kareem's 30-something thousand was way more impressive, and he went to college. He spent 3-4 years in college, something like that.
Four
years in college,
4 years, and won rings every year in college.
Exactly. So
he's literally the greatest basketball player ever walking. He ain't the GOAT, but he's really the greatest basketball player ever walking.
How can you even
6 rings? Well, he got 6 MVPs. So
6 or 5. I think Magic got one of them.
Right.
So 6 rings,
so
5
6
MVPs.
rings, 5 MVPs, 4 NCAA championships.
So
and he almost beat Bruce Lee in a fight.
Your favorite player doesn't even have that. So we got to
put some respect on Lou Alcindor, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
For sure. I mean, ain't no way in the world I would have been like, I wouldn't have been thirsty to dethrone him. I wouldn't have been thirsty to dethrone him. Like, I got to break Kareem's record.
No.
Why? I would have not have done that, man. But let's get these super chats.
And if we being honest real quick, listen, LeBron didn't know he was close to the scoring title until they told him. That's just some shit you look up and be like, "Oh shoot, I'm 6,000 points away." You don't know that shit. There's no way you know that.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, hit the super chats.
Yeah, am I gonna have to read these?
I got you.